They'd win the Big Ten championship, but were left out of the CFP in favor of another Big Ten team that they had beaten earlier in the season. Saquon Barkley's sophomore year. It's from the comment section, 2016 PSU. I'll give it a shot and let's break it down. They'd open with a win over Kent State, then traveled to Pittsburgh for their first matchup with the Panthers since 2000. Pitt jumped out to a 28-7 lead, but late in the second quarter, McSorley found Mike Gesicki for 24 yards. Then it was Barkley who cut the lead to 14 before halftime. Barkley and James Conner traded touchdowns in the third, and then Barkley again in the fourth. Tyler Davis added a field goal, and James Conner scored again for Pitt. Let's pick it up there. McSorley to Johnson for 27 yards. Then rip off another 19 yards here. McSorley to Hamilton. Barkley would punch it in for the touchdown, and they were successful on the two-point try. Barkley had 5 touchdowns in this game. Then Penn State would get their chance to tie on 4th and 16 here. McSorley kept them alive, but just 2 plays later, he threw a pick to seal the win for the Panthers. Tough one. Temple would keep it close. Gesicki with a big catch. Defense steps up late. Then to the Big House, where it was all Michigan. 28-0 at half. 49-10 was the final. Back home against Minnesota, and again, they trailed at halftime, but they won the third quarter 17-0. Then we had some extracurricular activity. Minnesota would tie the game at 20, then kicked a 37-yard field goal to take the lead with under a minute to play. On the ensuing drive, McSorley hits Chris Godwin for 20 yards, then rips off a 26-yard run to get them in field goal range. Davis sends it to overtime, where the Gophers hit a field goal, but Saquon ran it in from 25 yards out. Penn State wins 29-26. They followed that with a win over Maryland, and then it was time for the whiteout game. They trailed 21-7 to Ohio State, then McSorley and Davis cut into the lead. Later, Ohio State attempts a field goal, and it's blocked. Returned 60 yards to the house. Penn State touchdown. I can only imagine what the stadium felt like. Let's show Ohio State's final drive. JT Barrett's pass to James Clark is still up for debate. Then 2 sacks closed it out, 24-21 Nittany Lions. Trying to keep things quick here, drop a follow or like. Let's roll through Purdue, Iowa, and Indiana. They did outscore the Hoosiers 24-7 in the fourth. They'd shut out Rutgers and beat Michigan State to secure their spot in the Big Ten championship. Can we look at the CFP rankings going into championship weekend? Wow, 4 Big Ten teams in the top 7. Wisconsin jumped out early in the title game, but Penn State flipped the script and won 38-31. Show me the CFP standings. They finished 5th. It's one of those debated ones. They would advance to the Rose Bowl to face USC. Sam Darnold threw 5 touchdowns. Barkley and Godwin each had 2. I think Penn State scored on 7 straight possessions. However, they'd come up short 52-49. What a season. Who's next?